All right, well, welcome to March 2024, where I didn't think it would be snowing yet. Anyway, so thanks for braving the elements. I didn't think I'd be doing an Easter show. I usually do May when it's warmer, but I took March because I thought it would be warm, and here we are. So it's been pretty manic lately. But we have, lucky for you, two very funny shows tonight, Easter-themed comedies from the golden age of radio. And a little later, we're going to do an episode of Burns and Allen for you. But first up, we have The Great Gildersleeve. This was one of radio's first family comedies and the first spin-off, too. The character first appeared as the foil to Fibber of Fibber, McGee, and Molly. As the character portrayed by Harold Perry grew in popularity, the show's creator, Don Quinn, was crafting a spin-off. So in 1941, Gildy moved to Summerfield, where he became city water commissioner, guardian to his niece Marjorie and nephew Leroy, employer to housekeeper Bertie, and romantic pursuer of many women. Perry quit the show in 1950 for a more lucrative deal with CBS. CBS was stealing all the big stars at that time, and unfortunately his show did not work out very well, so he jumped. But Willard Waterman, who, if anybody knows who this guy is, sounds exactly like him and looked exactly like him. You would not be able to tell any sort of difference, really. He took over the role and continued until 1958 on radio and a short-lived TV version. Willard Waterman actually was the original Gildersleeve in the episode we're recreating tonight. An interesting point, when I was researching this episode, Bertie, the housekeeper, played by Lillian Randolph, sings a song at the end of this episode. When they recreated it on TV, they liked how she sang so much that she was offered a gospel record deal as a result. So Ellie's playing that part tonight, and she's going to sing it. And if you want to give her a gospel record deal, feel free. Coincidentally, before we get started, this episode, if you're curious what it sounded like, we're going to do it better. But if you're curious to hear what it sounded like originally, it'll be heard on Those Were the Days on WDCB 90.9 for those radio listeners next Saturday before Easter. And there's a poster on the table when you go and get your candy and your Easter refreshments from 100 years of radio. Those were the days that my mom gave me for Christmas, and maybe you want to look at it because it is pretty interesting. So without further ado, here's The Great Gildersleeve in the Easter Sunrise Service.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as The Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, Kraft makers of Velveeta, the famous pasteurized processed cheese food that tastes so good and is so good for you. Yes, Velveeta is another of the Kraft family of fine foods, foods that you can depend on for delicious eating, for wholesome, healthy eating. So remember, to get the cheese food of quality, get Velveeta, the cheese food that's made by Kraft. Well, in the town of Summerfield, it's the day before Easter, and the Great Gildersleeve family is making elaborate preparations for the occasion. Marjorie has selected a new Easter outfit. Leroy has a new suit, and they have resolved to do something different this year. Attend the Easter sunrise service. Of course, the Great Gildersleeve hasn't heard about these early morning plans.
It's something I've always wanted to do, Leroy.
Yeah, it'll be keen. Boy, I can't wait to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Let's go talk to Unky. Unky?
Hey, Unc, where are you?
In the den, children.
Are we interrupting anything?
Oh, not at all. Just glancing through the paper, looking for an Easter gift for Paula.
Oh.
I guess I could get one of those 2-pound chocolate Easter eggs. They're not too expensive.
Well, if you want to be cheap, why don't you get an Easter rabbit and let him lay the eggs?
Leroy? Leroy, I'm not trying to be cheap. I'm just trying to hold down expenses. Easter is beginning to cost as much as Christmas.
Speaking of Christmas, you know what I want next time?
Leroy, please. Now then, what's the purpose of this delegation?
Well, Unky, we have the most marvelous idea. Tomorrow we're going to sunrise service.
Yeah, we're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock? Well, have a good time.
Unky!
Just leave quietly and come home quietly.
You mean you don't want to get up at 4 o'clock?
No.
But Unky, the sunrise will be beautiful.
Marjorie, I've seen the sunrise. I worked my way through college delivering milk. And I'm going to the 11 o'clock service the way I always do. I'll need my sleep, so I'll be alert when I pass the collection plate. I don't want to drop it again.
Well, of course I can drive Leroy and Bertie to the service, but I wish you'd come along.
Oh, is Bertie going?
But she's singing in the choir. 100 voices, Unc.
Well, I would like to hear Bertie sing. But if there are 99 other voices, I wouldn't hear much of Bertie anyway.
Hey, Bertie!
Yes, Leroy?
Unc doesn't want to hear you sing.
He don't?
No, it isn't that, Bertie. I intended on going to the 11 o'clock service tomorrow. Have my day all planned. A very busy day.
Well, we all have a busy day ahead, Unky.
Yeah.
I know Bertie's gonna be busy. Bertie's gonna sing like an angel at sunrise. Then she's gonna fly home and bake the ham.
You ought to see Bertie's choir robe, Unc.
Really?
Oh, it'll be a beautiful spectacle, Unky. Cedar Hill will be banked with flowers.
Yes, I read about that.
Well, I've been there every year, and it's worth just to hear those trumpets when the sun comes up.
It is, Bertie?
Oh, Easter is such a thrilling day. And Unky, you'll see all the beautiful women in their new spring dresses.
Hey! Well, if you children insist.
That a boy, Unc.
Glad you changed your mind, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, I didn't exactly change my mind. I've been considering going for some time. But I wanted to be sure that all of you are willing to get up at 4 o'clock as I am.
Oh, brother.
Hey, look at Peavy's window. All decorated for Easter. That rabbit holding the talcum powder looks just like Judge Hooker. Yeah. Well, I think I'll go in. I still don't have a gift for Paula. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this morning?
Peavy, what would make a nice Easter gift for Paula Winthrop?
Well, Easter is usually a little chilly. How about a hot water bottle?
Ah, Peavy.
How about some perfume?
Perfume?
Women like to dress up for Easter, and a good perfume like this is the crowning touch.
How much is it, Peavy?
$12 an ounce. That's the crowning touch.
Well, oh, what the heck. Wrap it up. It's Easter.
Very well. Planning a big day, are you?
Yes, indeed. Peavy, guess what important official is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning for the sunrise service?
Reverend McNair?
Well, he's got to be there. I'm thinking about a fellow who's just volunteering.
You don't say.
Yeah. I'm taking the little family, and then I'm passing the collection plate at the 11 o'clock service, too.
Ah, good for you. I went to both services one Easter.
Is that so?
I didn't sleep the night before, not wanting to miss the sunrise service, and by 11 o'clock my eyes were so red I wore dark glasses to church.
You did?
And you know what the minister did? He lectured me for staying out all night.
Oh, my goodness.
But Mrs. Peavy and I always enjoy the sunrise services. Of course, it's usually a little foggy at that hour, but...
Well, I haven't been up at that hour since I was an air raid warden.
You better take a flashlight. There's a tendency to bump into trees.
Oh?
And if you're showing off a new suit, you, take a cushion along.
Oh, Peavy, I'm not the sort of person who goes just somewhere to show off. I'm wearing my old blue serge.
Oh, well, you can't hurt that.
Yes. Yes.
It's quite a climb up Cedar Hill, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You're trying to discourage me, Peavy?
Oh, my, no. I consider it quite a rewarding experience. In fact, Mrs. Peavy and I would be going again this year if she could stand the trek again.
Settling for the 11 o'clock service, are you, Peavy?
Yeah, but between you and me and the gatepost, I'd rather get up at 4 o'clock and go with you than to go to the 11 o'clock with Mrs. Peavy.
I don't follow you.
Well, she insists on wearing her new Easter bonnet.
What's the matter with it, Peavy? That bad, huh?
Worse. It's one of those dove on the nest affairs.
Oh.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I don't mind having people point at Mrs. Peavy's hat, but when bird dogs start pointing...
Oh, Peavy, it can't be that bad.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that.
Well, Gildersleeve, you are ready for the sunrise service. Hey, I wonder if I'll need this flashlight Peavy sold me. Who's that? Oh, the judge.
Here I am, Diogenes.
Judge, what do you mean, Diogenes?
With that flashlight, you must be looking for an honest man. Here I am.
All right, Judge.
Hop in, I'll take you home.
Well, thanks, Horace. That's where I'm headed.
Gildy, why are you carrying a flashlight in the middle of the day?
Well, I need it in the morning. I'm getting up at 4 o'clock.
You're going to the sunrise service?
You bet. And then I'm going to the 11 o'clock service.
Well, you must have a new suit you want to display.
Judge, you're as bad as Peavy. I'm not going to church just to show off my clothes. Besides, I don't have a new suit to show off.
I see. Oh, there's a bump, Gildy.
What bumped me in the back of the head?
That's my canteen.
Canteen? What is all this junk in the back of your car?
Oh, thermos bottles, blankets, folding chairs, and a buffalo rope.
Judge, where are you going? On a safari?
I'm taking Miss Matterhorn to the sunrise service.
Do you need all this equipment?
Well, you have to prepare for it. You're not just taking a flashlight, are you?
Well,
Besides what I have in the car, Miss Matterhorn is packing a lunch basket.
Lunch basket?
Well, the road to Cedar Hill is narrow, Gildy, and with several hundred cars up there, it takes hours to get home. Miss Matterhorn and I enjoy the service, then spread our lunch and listen to the singing birds and the clash of bumpers.
Yeah, that 11 o'clock service looks better and better.
But, Anki, I thought it was all settled that you go.
Now, Marjorie, they can conduct the sunrise service without me. You, Leroy, and Bertie go and enjoy yourselves.
Oh, I don't know why you don't go.
Oh, my dear, I might not get back in time to pass the plate at the regular service. Judge says traffic is pretty heavy out there.
Oh, Anki, you've just cooled off on the idea.
Well, I'll admit I'm not keen about it as I was this morning.
Why?
Well, Peavy and the judge meddled me. They accused me of going just to show off my new Easter suit.
But you don't have a new Easter suit. Oh, you just don't want to miss out on your sleep, that's all.
Oh, that has nothing to do with it. I'm staying home as a matter of principle.
All right, Anki, if that's your final decision.
That's my final decision.
I'll get it.
All right, Bertie.
Hello, Bertie.
Hello. Good afternoon, Miss Winthrop. Come in.
Well, thank you.
Well, it's Paula.
Hello, Throckmorton. Marjorie.
Hello, Miss Winthrop.
Paula, I was about to come over and pay you a visit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a little Easter gift for you.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, but why don't you give it to me early tomorrow morning?
Early? Tomorrow morning?
Uh-huh. Leroy told me you're all going to the sunrise service.
He did? Well...
Would it be terrible of me if I invited myself to go along?
Oh, Leroy, Bertie, and I'll be delighted to have you go with us.
Paula, I had no idea you planned to go to the service.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it. Marjorie, you should see my Easter suit.
Oh, I want to.
It's blue pastel file with pink color cuffs and gloves to match.
Oh, it must be darling.
Oh, it sounds great. What the heck is file?
And that isn't all. I have matching pink shoes and a hat with file trim.
Oh, how wonderful.
Isn't it thrilling? What are you wearing, Marjorie?
Oh, I have the cutest linen dress with a full skirt and a fitted top, and it has eyelet trim.
Very smart.
Well, I can see this is no conversation for a man.
Oh, Throckmorton, here we are talking about our new outfits and not letting you get a word in.
Well,
I know you're going to be so handsome in your new Easter suit.
handsome. Well, thank you.
I like to see men dressed up. You know, people don't just look at the pretty girl.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
I hope you got a powder blue pinstripe. I just love them. Well, I must go. See you bright and early in the morning, Throckmorton.
Yeah, yes, indeed, Paula. Bright and early.
Bye-bye, Marjorie.
Bye, Paula. Oh, Unky, I thought you decided not to go to the service.
You're going after all, Mr. Gildersleeve?
And why shouldn't I go?
Miss Winthrop talked him into it, Miss Margie.
Oh, she had nothing to do with it.
Well, that's what she said at the time, but no, sir.
Well, I thought you weren't going because of what the judge and Mr. Peavy thought.
Oh, why should I worry about what Judge and Peavy think? I'll put on my new suit and go.
But you don't have a new suit.
Well, I'll get one.
A powder blue pinstripe?
Well, I had that in mind anyway before Paula mentioned it.
Yes, sir.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. Keeping the food budget in line is a mighty good trick these days, if you can do it. And if you've been having difficulty, here's an idea to help you out. You can make really thrifty main dishes with Velveeta. Kraft's smooth melting, pasteurized, processed cheese food. Velveeta is simply wonderful in casseroles, soufflés, omelets, and for a smooth golden cheese sauce that's perfect so many ways with bits of meat or seafood, vegetables, or just poured over toast. And this Velveeta sauce couldn't be easier to make. All you have to do is melt a half pound of Velveeta in the top of the double boiler. Watch how quickly it melts without any lumps at all. Then gradually stir in 1/3 of a cup of milk. Season and serve. How the folks will go for this golden beauty of a cheese sauce. And no wonder. It's delicious because Velveeta makes this sauce nourishing because Velveeta is rich in high-quality, complete protein, as well as other important food values from milk. And Velveeta is just digestible as milk itself. Get Velveeta tomorrow in a 2-pound loaf so you'll have plenty for snacks and sandwiches, as well as hearty, good-to-eat main dishes that will help stretch your food budget. Just be sure you see the name Velveeta on the package you buy. Remember, Velveeta is the cheese food on top of quality made only by Kraft. Well, the great Gildersleeve has decided not to attend the Easter sunrise service with his little family when his girlfriend, Paula Winthrop, came over and mentioned how handsome he'd look in his new suit. Of course, the great man didn't have a new suit, but that was 2 hours ago.
Isn't Unky home yet, Bertie?
Not yet, Miss Marjorie. He's probably having trouble finding a suit.
Well, he shouldn't have waited till the afternoon before Easter.
No, ma'am. I never saw a man change his mind so fast.
Neither did I, Bertie.
First he said he wasn't going, Then he said he was. Then he said he wasn't because he's afraid somebody would think he was showing off a new suit he bought, which he wasn't, because he didn't.
That's Unky.
Then he said he was because Miss Winthrop thought he'd look handsome in a new suit, which he didn't have, but which he would have if he had it. So I hope he gets it.
So do I, Bertie.
I'll get it.
Oh, my hair's in curlers. Oh, I don't want to be seen like this.
Never mind. It's just Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, thanks, Bertie.
What you got in the box, Mr. Gildersleeve? New suit?
Yep.
Unky, why'd you ring the doorbell?
Well, geez, when I tried on my new suit, I left my keys in it. I was excited, I guess.
Oh, open the box, Unky. Let's see what you picked out.
All right. I'll get rid of some of this wrapping twine.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Well, maybe I can help you, Unky.
What's going on?
I sure am anxious to see that.
So am I, but what am I anxious to see? What's in there?
Leroy, keep your shirt on.
Did you get the one with the stripe?
Yeah, white stripe.
What's in there? An army tarp?
Leroy, don't be silly.
I'm not. I'm just trying to find out something.
I can't untie this knot. Where's my penknife?
Mr. Gildersleeve, how'd you get it so fast?
I practically had to grab it and run.
Run with what?
It still has to be let out, Bertie.
Well, take the lid off and let it out. Let's see what's in there.
There it is. Isn't that a beauty?
Oh, it's beautiful, Unky.
Ain't that something?
Oh, for corn's sake. Nothing but a suit.
My Easter suit, Leroy.
I thought you weren't going to buy a new Easter suit.
Marjorie, how do you like the necktie that I bought to go with it?
Oh, it's a very striking, Unky.
It should be with those baseball bats on it.
Leroy, they're not baseball bats. It's just a modern design.
And he got the powder blue suit.
Well, you don't think you come home with anything else after what Miss Winthrop said, do you?
Oh, so that's why you bought a new suit. You want Miss Winthrop to see you in it.
Leroy, that isn't it at all. There'll be hundreds of other people who'll see me in it, too. Yeah. I mean, Bertie, you suppose you can give me a hand with a few alterations? The tailor couldn't get it ready today.
Yes, of course. It's a little late, and I gotta take in the hymn in my choir robe.
Well, I guess I'm upsetting things a little.
Well, if we're going to get up at 4 o'clock, we should be getting to bed soon.
Yeah, I got a lot of things to do.
Yeah, so have I, but I can help you with Unky's suit, Bertie.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, now, let's not make a big thing of this. What we need is a little organization, and I'll be the organizer.
Oh, sure.
We all have things to do, so let's do them. Bertie, you go do the things you have to do.
Yes, sir.
Marjorie, you get the things done that you have to do.
All right, Unky.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to set the alarm for 4 o'clock and go to bed.
What a character.
Leroy, there'll be a lot of things to do in the morning, and I'll be up bright and early doing them.
Say,
What?
It's 4 o'clock. You said you were going to get up and start doing things.
The first thing I'm going to do is turn off that alarm clock and go back to sleep. Where is the darn thing?
Oh, look out. You're pushing it off the table.
Oh, my goodness. Make it stop. Step on the thing, Leroy. Do something.
No, it's hiding from me under the bed. I got it.
Oh, thank you, my boy. Good night.
Good night. It's the morning. We're going to the sunrise service, remember?
Sunrise. Oh, yes. Oh, up, everybody. Rise and shine. Marjorie, Bertie, Leroy, up.
Are you kidding? Everybody's up but you.
Oh?
Don't sit there in bed shouting rise and shine. how much further is it?
Oh, it can't be far, the way traffic's slowing down, Leroy.
Oh, such a winding road.
A little rough, too. Paula, I hope your Easter outfit isn't getting rumpled. It's so beautiful.
I'm fine.
You look lovely.
How can you tell it's dark?
Yo, Leroy. Marjorie, how are you and Bertie doing?
Well, all right, Unky. I just hope Bertie isn't going to be late to join the choir.
Oh, don't worry about Bertie.
Oh, we'll make it.
We'd be there now if Unc hadn't spent 10 minutes tying his tie.
Well, Leroy, it had to be right. This is Easter, you know.
Are you stopping, Unky?
As far as we can go, Marjorie. Cars are all parked ahead of us.
Well, let's get out and start hiking.
Well, aren't we awfully far away?
Oh, no, my dear. I'll get you there. Just follow me. I know a shortcut.
We got plenty of time. There's no sign of the sunrise yet.
You can't see a thing in this fog.
Hey, Unc, where's your flashlight?
A flashlight? Oh, well, last night I put it where I could lay my hands on it this morning.
And you don't know where you put it?
Yes, I do. It's right in the dresser at home. Come on, everybody, follow me.
Gosh, we haven't seen anybody since we left the car.
Well, Leroy, not many people know about this shortcut, I guess.
Unky, do you know where you're taking us?
Of course I do, I think. Oh, sure. It's top of the hill, right here.
This is the top of the hill, but what hill?
This don't look like Cedar Hill to me.
Well, we came up the back way, Bertie.
Oh, we certainly did. Oh, what a climb.
Where is everybody, Unky?
Well...
Hey, the clouds are lifting a little.
Oh, you can see up here.
Look, there's the choir and everybody.
Where?
Across the ravine. On the other hill. Half a mile away.
Oh, well, fine.
Oh, Uncle Mort, you and your shortcut.
Oh, and I'm afraid Bertie will never make it in time to sing in the choir.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bertie. Very sorry.
Oh, they'll get along without Bertie.
We'll just have to watch things from up here.
Hey, there's a lot of moving around. What are they getting ready to do?
They're getting ready to have a pageant, Leroy, telling the story of Easter.
Well, here we are, all dressed up, and we can't be with the crowd.
Well,
what an Easter.
There was only a few on hand the first Easter when they saw the rock was rolled away.
Oh, that's right, Bertie. We shouldn't forget that. I guess nobody there put much importance on fine clothes.
I guess they didn't.
Hey, listen. They're playing music.
They're getting ready to sing about the crucifixion.
Oh, Bertie, you were going to sing that.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you sing it for us, Bertie?
We'd like to hear it, Bertie. Would you?
I'd like to.
How beautiful.
Yeah, we got lost. But we found the true spirit of Easter.
Look, Unc, the sun's rising.
It's the new day.
And that's the meaning of Easter. A new day and a new hope for the world.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. What do you look for in a snack food? Good, pleasing flavor? Of course. But as guardian of your family's health, mother, you want that snack food to be wholesome too. Good for them. So get Velveeta, Kraft's famous pasteurized processed cheese food, and let your family enjoy snacks that are delicious and nourishing. Velveeta is rich in important food values from milk that everyone needs. Remember, for perfect snacks, the quality cheese, food made only by Kraft.
This is Gildersleeve again. Thanks to Bertie and the children, our little journey to the mountaintop for the Easter sunrise is a wonderful experience. I hope that for each one of you this Easter will bring renewed faith in the promise he gave to us all, renewed strength to follow his light through these days, when the forces of darkness endeavor to confuse our path. Thank you all. Good night, everybody. See you next week.
Tonight's episode of The Great Gildersleeve was written by John Elliott and Andy White. Included in the cast tonight are Jay Summerfield as Judge Hooker, Brad Zurl as Peavy, Corey Mizek as Paula Winthrop, Ellie Babka as Bertie, John Byon as Leroy, Donna Amesmeyer as Marjorie, and Mark Fazio as the Great Gildersleeve. Musical compositions and sound effects were provided tonight by Marty McNulty. This is Andre Dixon, your announcer, saying good night for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Don't touch that dial. Be sure to listen in next for an episode of Burns and Allen. But one last thing about Kraft. There are two kinds of delicious Kraft prepared mustard. Mild Kraft mustard, smooth and delicately spiced, and Kraft mustard with with snappy horseradish added. And whichever you prefer, remember when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Try it on cold sandwiches, hamburgers, frankfurters, and cold cuts. Enjoy the wonderful sauces you can make for hot meat and vegetable courses with Kraft prepared mustard. Keep both kinds on hand and keep the whole family happy. Yet, mild Kraft mustard and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added at your favorite food store. Here is our director, Jacob Palka.
I think Kraft should hire him to be their new pitch man, right? Who's in the mood for some mac and cheese or grilled? Allison just said, boy, I could go for a 2-pound loaf of Velveeta right now. We got her mouth watering. So anyway, that was the great Gildersleeve. What did you think of that? Give them another round of applause. Pretty good. Pretty moving, too. Pretty moving for a funny comedy. They got a little serious there at the end, but a good message nonetheless. So we're going to take a couple-minute break, have some Easter candy. It's not Velveeta, but it'll have to do. And we'll see you back here for an episode of Burns and Allen.